In Shreveport, a police officer shot and killed on her way to work last night. Police say the female officer was shot 4 times, once in the head. The department says she was not responding to any calls at the time. She wasn't even on duty at the time. Officers stress that investigation is still in its early stages.
Now we're asking for everyone's patience and understanding as the investigation moves forward.
Police do have one person they're currently questioning. Right now, we don't know if they're looking for any other suspects. 2 people are in custody after a Raleigh police officer was shot Wednesday night. The officer was investigating a report of a suspicious vehicle that was believed to have been involved in a carjacking. Once that officer left his car, he was shot several times. At last check, that officer was still in surgery. In Utah, the community held a candlelight vigil for an officer who was killed in the line of duty last weekend. 29-year-old Joseph Shiners was shot and killed trying to catch a suspect. He had worked for the Provo Police Department for 3 years. Police have made an arrest in the shooting.
In Siloam Springs, a father could face upgraded charges after his son died in a drunk driving accident earlier this month. Police say Michael Guest drove his car into a fountain where it flipped on its side and submerged underwater. Guest's 11-year-old son, Tyner Hemmett, was inside. Prosecutors say the boy died Tuesday after being taken off life support. Guest suffered minor injuries in the crash. He could face a charge of DWI, negligent homicide. A man will spend the rest of his life in prison for killing 4 people. Earlier this week, Brian Travis pleaded guilty to capital murder charges. The killings happened in Mena in the spring of 2017. Investigators say Travis killed Bethany Wester, her 2 kids, 2-year-old Aislinn Wester, and 9-year-old Riley Scarborough, and her uncle, Stephen Payne. Travis will not be eligible for parole.
We've got a safety alert for you. A school resource officer in the River Valley has been removed from his role on campus after apparently leaving his gun in an elementary school bathroom. Listen to this. According to the Dardanelle school superintendent, it actually happened several weeks ago at the primary school. The superintendent says the students' grandparents were visiting campus and found that gun and notified a teacher where they found it in the bathroom. We've been told that bathroom mainly used by staff, but sometimes it is used by students.
Regardless of if it's a high traffic or a low traffic area, it shouldn't have been forgotten around kids my youngest daughter's age and up.
The officer no longer works at the school as a school resource officer, but officials tell us he remains employed at the Yell County Sheriff's Office. In a crime alert, Little Rock police want your help identifying 2 people they think could have robbed as many as 8 convenience stores. We want you to look at this. Detectives released this surveillance video which shows those suspects' faces. Police believe the men are between 18 and 20 years old. In all of the cases, one person jumps over the counter while the other goes to the side, blocking the employee and demanding money. Call if you recognize any of these suspects. A decision of whether or not to build a memorial to honor the victims of the duck boat tragedy has been postponed in Branson, Missouri. The Board of Aldermen elected put off a vote until no later than 2020. One group wants to donate a memorial at the park, but some of the community aren't sure whether a memorial would be good for moving past the tragedy. 17 people were killed in that accident. The council will be taking comments on that matter the rest of the year.
A Batesville parent is pushing for a bill protecting school children who can't speak for themselves. House Bill 1019 would require security cameras in classrooms where many students are nonverbal. William Harrington says his special needs son, Hayden, was assaulted at Sulphur Rock Elementary School. Video from inside the classroom shows his then 5-year-old son being dragged by a teacher, restrained and slapped. Harrington said he would have never known about it if not for the video.
It's just heart-wrenching. But this bill would give them voices and just help out overall. As a parent, you feel so helpless. How can you help? You're not there to be a protector. And that is an awful feeling to know that you cannot protect your kids.
The bill will be presented to an education committee during the General Assembly, which starts next week. Harrington told us his son now goes to a different school district. If you drive through Independence County, you may see slower speeds in Southside. The mayor says the city asked the Arkansas Department of Transportation to do a traffic study. The state decided to lower the speed limit from 55 to 45 miles per hour. The mayor says the stretch of highway that runs in the middle of town can be dangerous. He's witnessed bad wrecks himself.
If we weren't getting requests, if I hadn't personally seen some really bad accidents, then this wouldn't have come up.
The mayor says he knows everyone's not happy about the slower speed, but he hopes this will keep drivers more aware through the area.